Yeah, Tina's going night.
That's a very cool charcuterie board she made on her video she put out today. If you haven't seen it, you ought to go watch it.
I watched Dale's video about his auction and everything. I kept looking for a 69 Fairlane. I was like, man, there's got to be a 69 Fairlane here somewhere. and then he was bidding on this car, and I go, wait a minute, he's bidding on the Falcon. All right, he's bidding on the Falcon. All right, here we go.
It's Falcon. It's not a Fairlane.
About 10 too many. Hi, Mom. Welcome in, Mom.
That thing went pretty cheap.
It went, yeah.
I mean, for how much those things are going for now, it was running, driving. You know, I don't know what the engine was in it, but
it had a straight 6 in it.
Yep.
Simple, happy life.
But it also only showed 15,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kicking myself for not buying it. But like I said, the side-by-side, we've already got a whole lot of use out of it.
I bet,
yeah.
Yeah. You probably got a lot more use out of it than you would have out of the Falcon. So
more
Falcon, you'd be sitting there tearing up the
That T-Bird, the lady that bought the T-Bird, that was her sister's. Her sister had bought that brand new.
Yeah, that's a cool.
And she paid a lot for that T-Bird, I thought. But it was clean.
I was watching her bid because I like to watch auction stuff and everything, and I was watching her bid, and I was going, that lady right there is going to end up with that because she's not going to give it up. She's just not going to, and I can tell it. I see it. There's sometimes whenever I'm at an auction and I start bidding, and some lady will do that, and I'll just quit because I know I cannot outbid them. Because they will spend every dime they ever had in their life to get it.
Well, the story gets, I can guarantee you that because what she told me that I cut out of the video, I actually had it on video of her telling us the story that her dad had passed. So she was getting an inheritance and a pretty considerable one. And her sister had passed, and she was going to buy that car no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
So no matter what, she was going to. And she said her husband has one identical to it, just a different color. But they were, you know what I mean? Like they're the same year, everything.
Yeah.
So now they have a his and hers.
Yeah. I think those cool stories are probably worth more than what the money is.
Yeah. I went to the one auction, and that guy bought that John Deere loader tractor at the auction, and it was because he bought it originally back in 73. He bought it brand new in 73, and then later he sold it sometime in his life, and he found out that it was coming up for auction it was going to be at that auction in it. And he came to the auction, and he came to the auction for one thing, to end up with the same tractor he bought new in 1973. And I had people on the thing, make comments on the auction like, man, they gave way too much for that tractor and stuff like that. And it wasn't, but if it was just some guy and it was a tractor, you know what I'm saying? You could think like that. But in his mind, he would give more. I mean, I talked to him. He said he would give a lot more.
It wasn't just
to get his tractor back, because that tractor, it came with no loader when he bought it. He bought a loader and put on it, and it still had that loader and everything. And it's just like, it's just nostalgia at that point. Nostalgia, you can't put a price tag on it. Yeah. So kind of like a Honda powered, like
Farmall regular.
Farmall.
I've got one of those.
Yeah, you're the only guy I know that's got one.
I've got a tractor that I bought when I was 15, and I sold it to my cousin in 2000 or 2001. He painted it, had it to where it run really nice. Still got the same tires on it that I put on it back when I had it. He has breathing problems now, so he bought him a little John Deere that has a cab with air conditioning so he can stand to do any mowing. And the thing was sitting out in the fence row behind his place here a while back. I said, "Hey, Roger, if you ever want to get rid of that tractor, I'll buy it back from you." He said, "Oh, okay." Calls me a week later and says, "Why don't you just come get that thing?"
There you go.
There you go.
And I offered to pay him what he had paid me for it, which was the same amount that I'd paid for it when I bought it,
Yeah.
which is probably less than what it would bring today, but it's probably just going to sit in the barn over there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot. It's a cool deal out there. If y'all haven't had a chance to check out Paul's tractor collection, there are a few videos out there with his tractor collection. He's got videos of it, and I've got one of it.
You got a video of it. I think Rock Maggard.
It is cool. Very cool.
Like, how many things with tires on it can you store in a chicken house?
Right?
I don't know, but I tell you what, I'd give you a run for your money if I had a chicken house.
Yeah, the only thing is if you was going to build a building, you wouldn't build it like that one, you know?
Well, I know where you can get a deal on some of them. A friend of mine, that's what he does, is goes and tears them down and resells them to people.
Yeah,
and like barn deals and package deals.
Oh, I've seen
pretty much made a career out of that. You know?
I've seen them go at auction for cheap. I mean, big old building like that, and the deal is you've got to have it off by like next Thursday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're at the sale on Tuesday.
Johnny,
when you were here, did I show you my granddad's old pickup and tell the story about it?
You told me there's the one about the Chevrolet square body truck that drove to Washington. Yes.
Yeah, that's my dad's pickup.
Yep.
I actually have my granddad's pickup, the first pickup that we ever know that he ever had. He bought it from a neighbor of ours, and it was setting up in the woods on the place this guy bought, and it didn't have no motor in it. And he traded half a hog butchered for it. He drug it home and had to pull the motor out of his car and put in it so he'd have a truck. And what they had used to haul their cream to town before in milk cans was a little truck bed trailer they pulled behind that car.
Yeah.
And it is a 47 Chevrolet. It's not the 5-window thing, but it's a 3/4 ton.
Wow.
And my dad told me when I was a little kid, he said, "I painted that for your grandpa once." And I'm like, "Really? That's cool," you know, because it was nothing but rusty when I got it. And I made the original motor that was in it out of grandpa's car run when I was a youngster, and used it to barn square bales with. And I done a bunch of upgrading on it. We upgraded it all the way into the mid 60s.
Yeah.
Changed a motor and transmission, and fixed the body up on it where it was roughed up pretty bad, all except the tailgate, and painted it here several years ago. But it's been sitting in the barn. It's got like that much dirt on it now from that dirt floored building. But yeah, I've got my granddad's truck that he traded half a hog butchered for.
Where was that at when I was there?
Same building as the track? No, it's in my cow building.
It was somewhere else because we went from stem to stern on that one building.
Yep. Nope, it's in my cow building. That's how it gets more dust on it.
I've got a nice layer of that cool dust on my Trans Am that I'm going to be working on, and hopefully we can get running to go.
Hey, I wanted to offer any assistance I could to get you help on that getting that Trans Am going because I have knowledge of how to repower things.
Well,
you might have to stand on a pedal that tightens a belt, but it'll work.
if we're repowering things, if I have to repower that Trans Am, luckily 25 years ago, me and my brother drove up to Kansas. There was a guy who bought a wagon, a Pontiac wagon, and he was going to make it into a demo derby car. And it had a 455 engine in it, and he sold us that 455 engine for $250. We pulled it. He said it ran. I never heard it run, but he said it was running. But the reason they do that is because they put a small block back in them because it more crush room around the engine, so they can crush the car more, and it'll still be running. And so I have that complete engine sitting under the bench in my shop, and if worse comes to worse, I have that to put in that Trans Am. So of course they'll be getting that running then, and
as long as it ain't stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I expect everything to be stuck. I really do. The only thing I don't expect to be stuck is if I work on my GTO out there, I don't expect it to be stuck. But
find you an old 1840 case skid loader and pull the 4BT Cummins out of it and put in it.
There you go. But that's what I want for my little Jeep.
Yeah.
My little CJ5 with a 4BT Cummins would be perfect, man.
Have you seen Andy Fromm's videos where he put a 4BT in an M Farmall?
I have not.
It will spin the wheels. That dude pulls with it, and he gets to going too fast, in my opinion, with it.
Well, all I know is my Dozer's got that engine on it, and that's a working dude now. It's a
John Deere's version of that engine is a 4045 John Deere.
Yeah. And
there's a bunch. If you look up that, putting them in pickups and stuff like that, it'd be pretty handy because it's all mechanical.
Yeah.
You can just drop it in anything.
Right.
Turbocharged and stuff. Yeah. I would like to build me a little project with one of those because, neither one of them big horsepower. They're just
you can pick up those little Jeeps pretty cheap, and they make the perfect test bed for an engine like that for sure. So, or an old truck of some sort would be cool.
Yeah, the Plowboy Diesel, he built a Dodge round fender, round hood.
Yeah, I saw one for sale on Marketplace. That a short bed what is it, a D50 truck or something?
There's a bunch of those D150s on.
No, it's a D1. It's a D150. I want to say late 80s. The short bed. That'd be good with one of those in it.
Johnny, you can find those 4BT Cummins in the Frito-Lay's chip trucks a lot.
Yeah. I need to really check those out when I go to these auctions.
The bread trucks are the same way. A lot of those have the 4BT Cummins in it.
Yeah, another thing that bread trucks, we're going to put, is Jennifer in here? We're going to put her right to sleep because
she hasn't been in here today.
Right. So,
by the way, everybody say hello to Anita.
Hi, Anita.
Hello,
Anita.
So I was going to tell you on those bread trucks, if they had Anita, if they have a turbo 400 in them, they'll have a really cool, really deep transmission pan on them. And because I hate the aluminum pans that they put out for these things and the chrome pans and stuff, I use those big deep pans that come off of bread trucks, I guess you'd call them, on my turbo 400s. So,
hi, Simple Happy Life.
They are going to bed. A Simple Happy Life is leaving. They have a doctor's appointment early in the morning. Y'all sleep well.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks for coming in. And everybody's saying hello to Anita in the chat.
Lori
So
says hello.
It actually makes, I mean, it's kind of a bad,
Evelyn.
but you're not going to be quite as strapped for the poverty tour now, Johnny.
So
Wendy, my bestie.
Now what? Oh, you mean for the going to the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that had no bearing on anything whatsoever because I mean that we were all about the Pinecone Fest and everything like that, and I would have been there to the very last minute that I could be there before we had to head out
And then roll
because
on.
I just love that deal and I love those people.
Yeah.
And
I don't have any other kids.
so we would have been there till Saturday. We'd have been there till probably about just before dark Saturday, and then we'd probably cat it out because usually Sunday everybody's just kind of packing up, heading out anyway after breakfast. So,
Right.
but
What channel did you say that you can find out more about that whole deal? Is it Pole Barn Garage?
for the
Organizing that?
there's actually you can go Dale, you can go on there on Facebook, and there's a poverty tour group.
Okay.
And you can join the poverty tour group, and it'll tell you everything that you want to know. So just look up poverty tour, and you'll find it, and just get in there, and it tells you like everywhere we're going to stop, or like all the towns and stuff like that. And anybody that can go, that'd be really cool. Anybody that can't go on something like that, like I said, Mid-America Dragway in September, we're going to be there in Kansas. You know, Kansas is kind of, you know, there's a lot of people live within driving range of Kansas. Wendy. So just saying, and Paul Case and Rainy Ridge and, you know, everybody. And they're actually trying to put on some stuff this year, some different stuff. They're trying to get some heads up stuff going. And of course, every time I open my mouth about heads up stuff to them, they buck out a harness whenever I say anything. But so I'm just,
I can't even make it to Joplin from here sometimes.
Yeah. I was going to say that.
Joplin.
Yeah.
Reverend Joe.
Yeah,
Says,
Anita and I was
haven't
supposed to be
leggings.
on Rainey's Live with Dale and Lisa and Dink and Tank last Saturday, and I couldn't make myself go. I actually didn't get home until that was supposed to start.
Was that Dink and Tank behind y'all?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know who that was.
Yeah, it's David and Tamara.
I couldn't see it. I was on my phone and I couldn't see it good enough to tell who was back there. Wendy, Mid-America Dragway is in Arkansas City, Arkansas City. Arkansas.
Thank you. You just did that to make me feel better.
Kansas.
Cheers, Johnny.
Cheers. Oh no, dirty deal. So but yeah,
We're
you and
praying
Tom
for
should
you.
come if he likes drag racing. You don't want to miss this one.
Oh, Kansas. That's right, Julie Cook.
Yeah. Julie's going to be there.
Hi,
That's
Julie.
Julie's home stomping grounds right
yeah,
there.
she goes to the races out there now, and she never did before. We don't even. It's not just when we're there. She goes other times and watches.
Really?
them race. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, Lisa and I went a couple weeks ago to the truck drags at Mocan,
Oh wow.
and it was diesel,
Yeah.
four-wheel drives, two-wheel drives, gas. We watched 6-second Ford Rangers and
Yeah.
S10s, and I mean, it really had me like,
Had you?
I told Lisa, I'm like, I got an F because we watched an F-150 just like mine
Yeah.
burn down that track. And I said, I'm going to go grab my truck. She said, you're not going to grab our nicest vehicle and go run it down the track.
I want to find a drag race around here with those semis, those loaded semis going with the
Yeah,
pull the
that's
front wheel
cool
off
too.
the ground. Can't find one around here.
I think they do that sometimes here at Four State Trucks when they have that big truck show every other year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Usually in September. I think it's in September usually.
They're having a big, so they had a hot summer nights last weekend. I was going to holler at you and see if you were going to it, Johnny. Or if, I can't think, your friend with the blue car,
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah.
Man, I had a brain fart. I couldn't remember his name. Steve.
Steve.
I was going to see if he was going to be there, but, you know.
I almost went to the back of the track race that they had at Mid-America Dragway. What was it, a couple of weeks ago?
Oh, really? I didn't know they had a back of the track.
Yeah, they had a back of the track.
I need to follow them on Facebook.
It was put on by the guy that does 660 Street.
Yeah.
The Hispanic fella, I can't remember his name. And then in flashlight start, the whole 9 yards. And I was going to go to it, and it was the same day that they decided to bale my hay. And whenever they bale my hay, they want me to come out there because they all drive tractors to the field from their house. They drive those 2 tractors with the hay rakes and stuff, and they drive the 2 baling tractors down there. So if something breaks, they don't want to drive tractors to try to go get something. So they need me there in my truck in case something breaks so I can run and get things for them or whatever. So I had to leave right in the middle of the auction. I mean, I just had to drop it and leave. And there was some good stuff coming up. And my plan was to go to the auction, do the whole auction, and then it wasn't that much further to just shoot right on up to Mid-America Dragway. And I was going to go up there. I was going to watch that race and spend the night up there in Arkansas City. And then I was going to drive home the next day.
Well, I was
You have to Google that. I have
I
no idea
noticed-
what that is.
I noticed you were trying to get some on the Pontiac, the Facebook page. You were trying to get them to do some heads up street race type stuff.
Yeah, and you heard them. They all say, "Oh yeah, you got to run your air conditioner and you got to do this." No, come on, guy. Whenever they said True Street, whenever they said True Street class, I said, "All right, my car is exactly True Street." Exact. No, we're talking about all this. Finally, I talked to the guy on the phone. I told him, Terry Eford, I told him, I said, you need to name it something other than True Street. You need to name it Real Street or something that nobody has a class for.
That air conditioner deal, that was a big deal down at Mocan because a lot of those guys would just pull up there with their pickup.
Yeah.
No
Drip,
helmet,
drip.
no nothing. And they'd have to keep telling them, you cannot run your air conditioner up here.
Yeah.
Like that water dripping on the track is going to get somebody hurt.
Yeah.
Like you
And the
cannot be
thing
doing
is-
that.
And the thing is, you can't sit in the staging lanes and run your air conditioner because it's just building up on the frame and stuff like that.
Right.
And it still drips on the track. So, but I'm going to send, I'm trying to get some dates here.
I didn't know what that
Lagoro cucumber melon.
I've
Yeah,
never
How
heard of
bad
that.
did I butcher that?
He looked it up because Serena said that she harvested her first cucumber melon today. That cucumber. So he looked it up to see what it was.
I've never heard of it.
I think I make such weird names, but I think they
I
just call it
know.
a big white cucumber.
Why can't they call it melon cucumber or cucumber melon? I mean, come on. I know why. Because they put that big long name on there and no redneck can read it. And so all the rednecks buy that seed. They're like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try one.
I'm
gonna
gonna try
try
one.
Well, I'm gonna try one. I can't
It's
even
kind of
say.
like Nana planted some seeds and she couldn't remember what the name was, and now we got zucchini melons. We don't even know what they are. They were supposed to be zucchini, but they're like green and round and hard as a brick.
I
I
seen a
think they're
picture.
really birdhouse gourds or some kind of gourd is what they are.
I seen a picture of a guy who had a bunch of them zucchinis. That's about a foot and a half long, all laid out on the grass, and he had his gun and his hunting gear on, and had his hunting cat with him for the picture. Oh, that's cool.
It's zucchini season.
Zucchini season.
Yep. He's just giving names to Lori to add to her prayer list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
definitely
my mama
put
went to
Julie. Put down
Yeah.
Julie on that list.
Mm-hmm.
From heard that.
Yep.
My mama went to the doctor today. She'd been having, along with breast cancer and taking treatments for that, she's been having trouble with the shingles. And so her doctor told her that the shingles are on their way out. This is what you get whenever you call and say, hey, I need to get in and see the doctor. Well, how about next Tuesday? Like, okay. By the time I get there, I think I won't need it, but all right. Anyway, they thought she was getting along really good, so. Last time that she'd went, they told her that the medicine they was giving her was working, and cancer looked like it was shrinking.
Praise God.
However, the doctor that prescribed her the chemo meds gave her a prescription, and the first prescription she took to the pharmacy to get filled, the pharmacist says, well, this is not the one you want. This one costs $20,000 a pill, and it's a pill a day for 6 weeks. Woo. I'm like, Mom, I don't think I even know anybody that could do that. If I do, they're not telling me. You know?
Right.
So,
Thank God that my dad was on some experimental chemo drugs, and his insurance was paying for it. And it's a good thing because it was like, that's about what it was a month for his.
Yeah.
Like $20,000 a month.
that's pretty crazy.
And my dad was on limited income at that time because he took his Social Security, which meant he could only make like $14,000.
Yeah.
You know,
You got enough to pay for 3/4 of a month worth.
you got 3/4 of a month of it. You know,
I could have cancer, but I had to go get 3 more jobs to support the medicine I have to buy.
Yeah.
for it.
But
I want to say like $8,000 or something like that. I think so. Meds are so expensive, especially when it comes to cancer and,
the cancer,
and stuff like
cancer yeah.
It's not
The
cheap.
bad food that's bad for you that will give you the cancer is cheaper than the nice food that's good for you. And then the pills after you get the cancer are the most expensive. It's like our society is backwards.
Did you say messed up? Thank you for cleaning that up. It is. It's messed up.
Yeah. I had to real quick and
you had to censor yourself.
Jacked up.
It is messed up.
It is messed up.
Yes.
Like
It is.
the stuff that's good for you costs way too much to afford to be able to do it, and the crap you shouldn't put in your body is dirt cheap. So
And easy to get.
It's easier to get. So it's like, what's wrong with us?
Like my students call it, they say that's meth up.
That's messed up.
Yep.
Well, I don't know nothing about your students, but I do remember going to college with a couple of guys from Mexico that could not pronounce Hereford. They said Hereford.
Hereford.
Hereford. which made me want to break out in song. Here, Ford, there, Ford, everywhere, Ford, Ford.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they. I remember watching a movie that was like in New Zealand, was where it was based out of, and that's how they pronounced Herefords. Hereford.
You're a Ford. Huh.
Well, we got some Fords out here. We got all the Fords right here by the house. All of them. My 1 ton, your Expedition, and my Transit. All Fords.
There you go.
Faith and Christopher Chevy's got to park way out there in the cul-de-sac. Stay out there.
Yep, the watermelon thumper.
Yeah. Well, I got my 3/4 ton is back home. It's fixed.
Nice.
Did you get a wheel bearing put in it finally?
Both front hubs replaced.
Well, yeah, them are not the kind you can change a bearing. You change that cartridge of the preloaded
Yeah.
bearing.
So
They
changed
used to
both
be
front
really
hubs on that
expensive.
one. Got it all fixed up, so it's back. But man, I tell you what, that was the wildest thing ever, having a bearing go out, catch your hay on fire.
Yeah.
I have seen, you asked me if I'd ever caught a load on fire. No, I haven't, but we had one not very far from me on I-44 over here in Missouri a few years back that a guy caught on fire, and he was hauling them on a flatbed and had them too wide and one on top, and he got her unhooked from his truck and didn't burn his truck up, but his trailer was a total loss.
I'm trying to figure, that's the thing. I didn't have a fire extinguisher, but my hay trailer, the hay was on fire right there where I have to use the hay jack, the trailer jack. So it was on fire. I barely was able to get the thing out to unload it. I mean, just to push it off the trailer, but to try to get it off, I don't think there would have been any way. I mean, that dude was ripping, blazing, boy. And, so I've got 2 fire extinguishers in my truck now, and not that I could put out a load of hay, but maybe I could make a hole in that fire enough to where I could get something loose and then, get it. Yeah.
I was gonna say I was at a round baler. Well, I've been at more than one that burnt to the ground. And once they start, best thing you can do is just pull the pin and drive away.
Yeah, get your tractor away from it. I've seen them where the baler and the tractor went up.
Yeah, we sold, when I worked at the dealership, we sold this lady a brand new tractor. She was so proud. Her and her husband, had worked their whole life, and he had passed on, and she bought herself a new tractor, brand new little 120 horse tractor, and went and hooked it up to her round baler that was only a few months old, and that afternoon that tractor had 4 or 5 hours on it. That baler caught on fire, and she could not get it unhooked and burnt every bit of it to the ground.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, we have caught ours on fire numerous times. There's one set of bearings on that old balers that we use that the belts pull the roller that they hold up and back, and they welded a cup-shaped deal on the inside of them on the up and back to screw the bolts that hold the bearings on the end of it on. Well, what that does is whenever the bearing goes out, it rubs in that cup and throws sparks into the bale.
Yeah.
And after a while, you figure some things out. Number one, ours has a hydraulic tailgate that doesn't have anything impeding it. And if you see the bales on fire, you smell smoke, whatever, you open the tailgate and get the thing out away from the hay and get the bale out of it. But there are some of those newer balers they've got that won't allow you to open the tailgate till the thing puts the wrap on the bale. Right. I don't know if the bale's on fire, if you put enough hay in it to get the wrap to put on it so that you can open the gate, But ours is old and manual, so... And unfortunately, we figured all this out the hard way. And then when we thought we had that figured out, and of course we carry a fire extinguisher, but you're not going to put a bale of hay out.
No.
And Dad actually had one of the bearings in the tailgate go out and catch the bale on fire. And then, we thought, you just got to look it all over, and you probably still won't see what bearing's going to go out next. But I had one where I hadn't greased the slip on the PTO where it hooks onto the tractor often enough, and it pushed the bearing back into the they got a 4-bolt flange there. It pushed the bearing back into that and caused it to run a little hot, which caught the hay that was in the tongue under the cover on fire on me once. So I thought at that time I had probably burned a 605F up every way you could catch it on fire, and was still using it. So
And I'll tell you what, I've done figure, that's one thing. Hay fires scare me to death. And, I was scared of that before that happened. And whenever I look back, and when somebody was flashing their lights at me, they were flashing their lights on their truck at me. And so I looked in my side view mirror and I was like, I cannot believe this. The thing I fear the most is happening back there. That hay is on fire. And I was driving past people's manicured yards and all this stuff. And I was like,
I was getting anxiety just watching your video of it, of you retelling that story and driving along there, because I'd have been just like that. I've been like, I don't want to do that right in front of their house. It might roll out and get against their house, or it might,
Yeah, or their kids might come outside and get burnt in the hay. So, you run over to it or something.
Well, I had a phobia when I was a youngster because my wrist was the only place I could see veins on me of something cutting on my wrist really bad. Well, guess what? It happened. I like to bled to death over it. But
what happened there?
When I was 13, my brother had moved out of my bedroom, and so I got to sleep on the top bunk of the bunk beds. Never had any rails on the sides of them. And at 11:07 on July 6th of 1988, my parents made the executive decision we're going to shut the air conditioner off and turn on the attic fan. I couldn't have been happier about that because it was hot in my bedroom. So I scooted over to the edge of the bed and pulled on the roller blind, and it went like they all do. And so I was reaching up for it when I began to fall out of bed, and I caught myself with that hand in the middle of the window, and it busted the glass in it, and the shard of glass that it busted stuck in me there. They did some searching here. This cut here that goes up and down.
Yeah.
They did that trying to find the ends of stuff to hook back together. So it was this scar from here all the way over to there.
Oh my God.
The glass cut me.
Ouch.
And it cut the vein, and it cut the tendons that run my last 2 fingers on that hand, and it cut the nerve. And they said the bone stopped the glass.
That's messed up.
No, that's not messed up. What's messed up is how much blood I was losing all at once. I sat down in a chair in my bedroom and held it, and I could make it stop bleeding. And then my mom made me let go of it so she could wrap towels around it to try to hold it tighter, and you can't hold it tighter with towels around it. So Mom always kept a Suburban for a car. And the one she had at that time was notorious for having transmission troubles. And we got in that car and drove to Joplin on fumes in a car that wouldn't shift out a second, going like 100 miles an hour down Gum Road, which goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
We get up there at the hospital at St. John's is where we went. And, of course, I walked in there. Mom's holding my arm up above my head. On the way there, I told her, I said, Mom, you're not holding it tight enough. She's like, how do you know? I'm like, because the blood's dripping on my elbow.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to bleed out. I probably would have. I don't know how I didn't, to tell you the truth. But we get in there, and nurse said they took the wrap off of it and stopped bleeding. I think it's because I ran out. But the nurse says to my mom, "Oh, you guys live in Oklahoma. He didn't cut the vein. He would have bled to death." And so she wheels me away to X-ray and brings me back in a few minutes. And then here she comes, and that nurse is just as white as a sheet. And she said, "You ain't going to believe this."
Yeah. Imagine that.
Cut the vein. I'm like, yeah, my mom's like, "I think I told you that." Yeah.
It's on our new tags on our vehicles now. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Duncan Family Farms in here. Greg
Yep.
Duncan.
Yep, Greg's here.
Hi, Greg and
Greg.
Donna. Good night, Mom.
You know
She's
what?
going to sleep.
I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of I don't care, I'm hoping that old gal's there this Friday night. We're going to go down there and eat at the Princess Friday night. We have our church group coming out, and well, it's our church group night, and we decided, hey, let's go eat at the Princess this week and just fellowship there.
Rihanna.
I'm hoping she's there. I'm going to say,
yeah,
I'm going to go in. I'm going to give her a Gillum Farms shirt.
You sure and tell her you have a YouTube channel, you know. YouTube channel?
You know, we told that story just this weekend. We were reliving that story when we got together with the Rainies and Dink and Tank. And Dink and Tank didn't know the full story.
Really?
But we got so tickled retelling that story.
Yeah.
That girl done a bang up job for as many people was in that room. I mean, she was quite the waitress now.
Oh yeah.
I looked down there after that went on, and I looked at Jack, and I said, "Jack, was she being a little bit ugly with you guys?" He said, "No, Greg was being ugly with her for about the last half hour." Yeah.
Have a shirt that says I don't care. I need to get her one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a restaurant over here between here and Wauketusa that's called the I Don't Care Bar and Grill.
Yep.
And so maybe that should be your new place to go, Greg. Maybe we'll have a meetup and we'll go there.
There's an I Don't Care in Nevada, Missouri. It's a Mexican build your own burrito place, and they have an I Don't Care burrito. It's about as big as my head, and that's big.
You know how to tell a true redneck. You know how to tell a true redneck now, don't you? They don't pronounce the D in I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's right.
There you go. I really wasn't intending to tell you my story about cutting myself so good. I was going to tell you the story about when I caught Dad's tractor on fire.
Oh my gosh.
When I was growing chickens. Maybe. When I was growing chickens, when we get out in the summertime, them chickens would make the litter in the floor get all caked together and wet sometimes underneath their waters. And in between bunches in the summertime when it was hot, you could go in there with a little disc or something and cut that all up and it'd dry out. And then it didn't release ammonia whenever you got new baby chicks. And so I had been down here discing my buildings. Dad had a little Alice WD, and you could pull the muffler out of it. And we had this piece of 4-inch pipe you could stick down in the hole in the hood, and it would make the exhaust get out. And this little tractor had add-on power steering that leaked oil all over the motor and always had. And I'd come down here. It'd probably take a good solid hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes to disc my buildings. And Dad told me, since the tractor's home, you probably want to get them done. So, you know, and then he's like, and take it to this hayfield, which was Hornet. You had to go to Hornet and then come halfway back toward the house to get to the field we was raking that day. And so We had a set of New Holland twin hitch rakes, and I came in here and dissed them, and then you couldn't just grab that pipe and pull it out. It was hot, so I got me a pair of pliers and pulled that pipe out, stuck the muffler back in there, and filled her up with fuel. Hooked it onto them rakes, and I headed down the road, and I got over here almost to Coyote Road, probably about 3/4 mile back this way. And I saw a puff of smoke come out from under the hood. And I thought, that ain't good. I'm stopping at the next house. And inside of 10 seconds, I had flames coming out from under the hood everywhere. Well, it ain't got latches on the hood on an Alice that you can just loose and get it off of there. And what it had done is caught the dust and grease and chicken feathers that was stuck to the motor on fire. And it died. It burned up my hot wire right away, I guess. And so I got off and went to hoofing it back to the house. I didn't even have a water jug with me. I went to hoofing it back to the closest house. I thought I was almost right between two. And couldn't raise anybody there, but they had a well house in the circle of their driveway. And I got in that well house, and I found a rusty bucket and a laundry detergent jug. And I filled them up with water and ran to that tractor. And when I got to that tractor, there was flames coming out from under the hood everywhere. And I took that laundry detergent jug and sloshed water up under that hood, and I almost had it out, and I ran out of water. And I had to run. I bet it was 100 yards back to that house. I'd run back to that house, and I got my stuff full of water and ran back to that tractor, and I got it all almost put out, and then it come back on, and I run out of water. The third time, my mom comes by, and she picks me up and hauls me to the tractor, and there was a blue flame about 3 foot long shooting out from under the gas cap on that tractor. And I got it put out. And how I got it put out, I was wearing a hat that didn't have screen on it. And I poured my hat full of water and put it in my hand and rubbed that on that motor up in there.
Oh my gosh.
And it knocked most of the fire out on the ground. There was a burnt spot on the ground you could see for a long time. It boiled the top of the radiator so bad that the solder was coming out of the joints on it. And what it was doing was made so much heat under that hood where that was on fire, it was actually boiling the gas in that tank. And that's why it was shooting a flame out. But it couldn't get enough air in the tank to catch on fire in the tank. And that's bad. That's a terrible story. Dad told me later, this is how thankful he was. I put his tractor out. He said, next time just let her burn. I'm like, what? We pulled it to the field and then hauled it back home. And inside of 3 days, I had it fixed and we was using it again because we needed it. But we had a parts tractor to get some stuff off. It burned the power steering lines in too. Is how hot it got under there.
Saginaw steering.
I don't even know what brand that one is, but it's one that you can put new O-rings in, and then inside of a couple of days it'll leak again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably been used 10 million hours. It was the choice tractor to use to mow hay with when we was using a Sycamore because it had live power steering. You could cut a nice square corner. Look at there. There's a bunch of people coming in here on my channel.
Yeah. The Rusty Garage and Homestead. And then we got Dakota and Shayla at Fear Not Farm.
Yeah, the Rusty Garage and Homestead is Mike. He's over at Chelsea. He's an Oklahomian.
They got Peter at Old Man King.
He's got Mike has a TYM tractor he calls Tiny. He does an awful lot of work with Tiny.
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Hey, I like ours.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had any big issues out of ours. It's done 99% of everything I've asked it to do. It's just some of the rocks are a little heavier than it wants to pick up. I mean, the hydraulics do it. It's just they don't have enough weight in the rear end to stay on the ground. But if I I don't have any ballast weight back there. I don't have any fluid in the tires or any stupid stuff like that. So I could make it heavier back there. The hydraulics would do it. It's just it don't have enough weight back there.
Something else would give.
Right. Yeah. I'd break it. I'd find a way to break it. But it's moved everything I've asked it to move, so I can't complain.
I'm liking my little case. The only thing I have a little bit of trouble with is that the radiator and everything is so small that one day's worth of raking, you need to blow the radiator out again.
Yeah.
The air conditioner not nearly as good.
That's the worst. Yeah, that's the worst thing about them new little utility tractors is the cooling isn't quite big enough on them.
However, I think there's
it's
some
good
other
as long as you have it spotless.
Yeah.
But
it's good as long as I keep that blowed out. However, the last day that we was making hay over on Dakota's place, I got to realizing because a cloud came over, and it was like even in the tractor cab, I'm like, oh, that's so much better.
Yeah.
So I need to get me some window film and darken them windows a little bit. It is so handy being tiny. I am done with hay season. We've got actually the neighbor came by and somebody stole his hay rake out of his hay field since he made hay last year. So he asked me if I'd rake his hay, and I went down and raked it, and he baled all but 3 of the long windrows of it. He came by the other day and asked me what he owed me for raking, and I'm like, you don't owe me nothing for that. I said, why did you leave them 3 windrows? Said it blowed a tailgate cylinder on my baler. He said, I'm not even going to bail them. I said, look, I'll go down there and pick them up for you so they don't kill the grass there. He said, I was just going to burn them. That's a good way to kill the grass in that spot.
yeah.
So you're not going to bail anymore this year?
I don't know. I may get a little bit of second cutting, but we're so late with the first one. I really don't know. It's almost going to have to rain.
Yeah, yeah, that would be nice if it would rain. That'd be kind of, you know
I'd
what's really
say-
wild is here last week, whenever that kind of weird rain came through that just kind of went in certain little spots. Well, it came right here over our house and dropped 1.5 inches or something like that, right here. But right down where the cows are, zip, nothing. And over on the hayfield, nada. So yeah, it rained here where I don't need rain right now. But anyway,
That's kind
that's
of
the way it works.
Mike. We got a lot of hay. I put 100 more bales up than what I need probably.
I'm
But
the same.
whenever God gives you rain and you make a lot of hay, it could be you'll need it. So
Yeah.
I have before fed cattle through a winter when we had a snow come on in late November that stayed on through the first of the year. And that 30 days of them cows eating about twice what they'd normally eat, we used up all that reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to take 3 to the sale. I wanted to take them this weekend, but I don't think I'm going to be able to this weekend. It's probably going to be the next weekend.
Today is a sale day at Welch, and I seen some of their posts on Facebook today. They had a couple of bulls that brought over 4,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
1,900 pound bull that brought $2.50 a pound. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to be able to. Our butcher steer, the one that we were going to butcher, we're not going to butcher because we've got so much meat still in the freezer, and we got 2 elk tags that we're going to be trying to fill this year and stuff like that. So I told Christine, I said, I'll just take that steer to the sale. And we've got another little bitty steer, that we'll raise up to be him later. That'll give us time. And then I've got 2 cows that I'm going to sell. So I bought 2 heifers bred heifers, Gelbies. I've got 2 of them now, and I'm going to. I'm replacing 2 of my cows with those 2 heifers. And you're right. I don't know if we'll get another cut or not. If it gets really weird and all of a sudden later in August it starts raining a lot, or early September, we might. But
yeah, I've got a couple of places that we may have to cut anyway. There's some of what we cut they just want it cleaned off, and that's really not a good way to manage things. If you're managing hay ground that you're not putting any fertilizer on, you kind of need to leave half of it.
yeah,
Take half and leave half. It'll get to where it evens out, and you'll produce more, better hay there. But they just want it cleaned off. So if they ain't enough to make a bale, or if it's too thin, we'll probably just go clip it off and call it good.
and just clip it and leave it lay, because this stuff, if it's too short, man, it's hard to roll it.
It's hard to get the rake. If it's hard to get the rake to rake up a windrow, we ain't going to catch it in a bale.
Dakota, what you're looking for in my country be like trying to find hen's teeth. 8 or 10 foot double disc drill. Most of them went out and scrapped, or there's a lot of 20 and 30 foot.
All of the ones that I know that have those 2 names on it that I would have had any access to would have been a single disc opener.
Yeah.
I've got a little tie no trill drill, but I really don't want to let go of it very bad.
Yeah, if you'll look for an international 5100, they're almost identical drills, and it would be like what you're looking for too. That's a John Deere 8000 is what they would call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny, your video with the twin rake, the guys with running the twin rakes, I was sitting there, I was having nostalgia at that and still feeling angst and angry over, those of us grew up running them. We found it an art to make a perfect windrow with one of those, that the round baler, and then they went and invented a wheel rake that you can put any warm body sitting in the seat and make the exact same windrow. You don't see any of them anymore.
The greater part about them V rakes is that most of them have a handle on the operator's platform, and you fold it up. Woof, pull the handle. Hey, look at that! It all went.
Yep.
Raised up out of the hay. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. The ones who run those rakes are that's ladies, 2 ladies. That's the wives of the guys that bale.
Well, my dad was a smart guy, and he never would say that anybody was a better raker than my mother.
Yep, he was smart there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of them was in a cab tractor. See, last year both of them were in open station tractors. The ladies were, and the men were in cab tractors that were baling. And this year, one of those women was in a cab tractor with AC, and the other one was in an open station. So I said, man, I made the comment. I said, man, she got smart and went and got her tractor had a problem and it was still under warranty. So they gave her that tractor to use. And, but she said she hated it. She said, it's so hot in here. And I said, does the air conditioner not work? She said, it works, but all this glass, it can't overcome it. And it's just, there's no breeze in here and nothing moves. And she said, it's hotter in here than it is in the open one. And she said, and this thing's weak. She said it had like 20 more horsepower than her normal tractor. But she said this thing is so weak, it's so weak it just won't hardly do nothing. So It's a TYM brand, and the her regular tractor is a Branson, and Branson was bought out by TYM. And so whenever she went to get it, her Branson warrantied, they gave her a bigger cab TYM to use, and she said it was just way weaker than her Branson was, and it 20 more horsepower, but weaker. Like
I can tell you how that would be is because they test the horsepower at full throttle RPMs on them.
Yeah.
And you get used to doing something like raking. And if you've got one of them that has to be running fast in order to get much horsepower out of it, and you dump the clutch, it kills it. This little tractor that I bought is a little bit that way compared to that 585. I can't take off going north out my driveway pulling that rake in road gear.
I think her Branson is a 55 horse, and the TYM is a 75 horse that she was using.
There's a lot going on for 75 horses there, with cab and air conditioner, and that's a lot of parasitic draw on that horsepower.
Parasitic draw.
Hey,
Sorry. We'll give it some of this.
Yeah.
That's right. Parasitic.
Just worm it.
Yeah, it needs a little ivory.
Dakota, that triple axle trailer, it didn't sell. It'll probably be up for sale again at the next Leach auction, which will be 2 weekends from now. They'll probably still have it there. I bet it didn't go anywhere. I bet you it was a no-sale deal, and I bet you anything will be sitting there and be for sale at the next auction. He contacted me about that that trailer, and if stuff doesn't sell, typically it's there at the next auction day. Trying again.
Different people. Somebody different shows up.
Yeah.
Just try again.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a weird deal happen to me the other day. I'm going to tell this story real quick, and I got to get out of here. But I had one of the auctioneers came up to me a couple of days ago. I was at the they call the Cowboys auction. They sell a lot of guns and stuff at that one. And I was at the Cowboy auction, and I had the auctioneer come up to me, and he says, "You were at Leach. You were videoing at Leach," because they're the same auction company that does Leach.
Right.
And he said, "You were at Leach." He said, "Did you happen to get the video, the big double stacker red Snap-on toolboxes that we had for sale?" And I said, I'm not sure. I said, I don't use all the footage. I mean, if I tried to use every bit of footage I get, my videos would be like 6 or 7 hours long. I said, so I'm not sure if I got that or not. He said, well, there was a guy who bought, it was 2 times the money because it was a stackable toolbox. So you had the bottom part, which is the big part, and then you had the top stacker part. And they said 2 times the money, and I guess the guy didn't understand what 2 times the money meant. So he bids it to $900 for the toolbox. So he's thinking he's getting this whole stacker toolbox for $900, but it's 2 times the money. So it's $900 for both. Well, he bucked out a harness real hard on them and told them that he said, I never did that. I never bid. I never bid on that. I never bid like that. I never, and he said, we just need something where it shows that we said 2 times the money. And then that's just pointing at him whenever he, went, whoop, he said he wanted it. And he said, because we had to eat that. That one guy said he had to eat it, $1,800. Because once it says sold, the person who brought the toolbox, they're going to get paid, irregardless. Somebody's going to pay them. And so he said he had to pay $1,800 for that toolbox.
Wow.
And so anyway, and I looked through my stuff, and I do not have it. So I didn't get that because I have to pick and choose kind of what I video, because I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I'd be there forever. It'd be a nightmare trying to.
Well, like that sale that we went to, like it was going when we got there. Had been going for 2 or 3 hours, and it went on for another 4 or 5 hours. Well,
Yeah.
I ain't filming that. I ain't gonna get that much. I mean, I'd have run out of batteries and places to put it by that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know. But anyway, I need to run because I've got a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow, and but it was a lot of fun being up here. It's good talking to you, Dale, and Paul, and Amy and Chris.
I'll
Yep.
practice
It
up
was
for
good
next.
having you on
I'll try to
again.
have something funny to say next time. Been way too.
We'll talk to you all later. All right. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye,
Bye, Johnny. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since we made Amy have a 3-hour live.
Yeah.
15 more minutes, it can happen.
Yeah, y'all ain't quite there yet.
Yeah. We're still 15 minutes in. And I was going to say,
Well,
well.
Well,
Oh man.
Where is Miss Nana tonight?
she gone.
She gone.
She gone. Gone, man. Solid gone.
She gone,
Yeah.
went and turned into a pumpkin by now.
Ah, yeah, I'm about to do that too. 5 o'clock in the morning comes really early.
I'm gonna get up and go to the gym first thing in the morning.
I bet you are. Not the same kind of gym I'm doing.
You gonna go hang out with old Sporty Spice up here?
No, I named my toilet Jim.
Oh,
Yeah, his toilet is named Jim.
Everybody's really impressed when I tell them I went to the gym 4 times today or something, you know.
Sporty Spice and her trainer Chris.
Man, it's rough sometimes going to the gym and like getting a decent little pump in and then having to go to work.
Yeah.
He tried running on the treadmill today, and
Dude, I did pretty good the other day. That day Faith went with us.
yeah,
I got my 1.5 miles down like around 15 minutes, which is way better than 22. I'm trying to get down to the Marine Corps regs of like 1.5 miles in 13:30. And I the closest I've got it since I was in my 20s has been that other day I got down to 15 minutes, which is pretty good for 40. 40 years old doing 1.5 miles in 15 minutes is pretty decent. I want to get back down to 13:30 because I used to be able to. I used to be able to do 1.5 miles in 13:30. It hurts now.
I could do it. If there was a candy bar named a mile. I could do 1.5 miles in under 15.
But I tried this morning and like my shins and like the top parts of my ankles were just screaming. I was like, nope, I'm going back to walking.
Well, I was gonna say sometimes it takes me 15 minutes just to get out of the chair.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people.
But
no,
when I was hanging out with them a lot back in the day when I almost joined and then almost did reserves, I maintained their standards for like their physical fitness test and combat fitness test and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I know what the requirements are and maintained it, even though I didn't actually sign the paperwork.
Yeah, no.
Well, I had a deal where I did an awful lot of walking for quite a bit of my life. My chores when I was growing chickens took me a solid hour at the very least to walk through and make sure and get any of the dead ones picked up. And it was 1.5 miles. And you had to carry buckets with you and you had to step over things. So I thought it was like extreme training type of stuff. And then several years after that, I bought a Wood-Mizer sawmill that you have to walk back and forth with the head. And I told somebody how many times I'd walked that in one day when I was doing cutting a lot of lumber. And they told me that didn't count because for every time I walked down, I had to walk back too. So I undone what I was doing.
Oh my gosh! like running a car backwards on jack stands to roll back the miles.
Roll back the odometer, yeah.
Right, Ferris Bueller.
Bueller.
It's not coming off, Ferris.
It's not coming off, Ferris. What are we going to do now?
And then he kicks the front of it and it runs out of the garage and into that ravine. Ferris, we're dead.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Lori says, obey.
Hey, 14:12 for 2 minutes is not too shabby.
2 miles.
Yeah.
That's a 7-minute mile. Like an 8-minute mile is a nice, like it's a nice standard to uphold an 8-minute mile. So a 7-minute mile, that's no joke. My problem is I start cramping up in my sides right here. Like I don't know what it is right in on this right side right here, up high, underneath the ribs, starts just screaming at me.
It's been a long time since we did, a 5K or whatever. It's been.
That happens to me when I eat ribs too fast too.
Yeah. and I know smoking probably doesn't help with the whole running and cardio and all that good stuff, but whatever. If I can do a mile and a half in 13:30 and smoke a pipe right after, that'd be saying something.
Well, you might want to wait until your breathing slows down a little bit, or else that thing might be blowing fire plumb up out of it.
I'd be like Popeye, where he turns it over and uses it like a welder and to weld the car back together. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, but my philosophy is if I smoke and I put pressure on my lungs with smoking, it's not good for you, and then I work out at the gym, then my lungs have to work harder to get past the pain of smoking, so I'm actually making them stronger.
I thought you was going to come up with a trade-off like drinking Diet Coke and eating fudge brownies.
Torn muscle, Chris.
Right. Well, we're not runners. Don't get it twisted. We are not runners.
We can be. I always get them into something.
Oh yeah, she does all this crap.
Ooh, that'd be so cool to join a 5K.
She got me in a 5K one time at this benefit for this lady or this girl in Coweta that had cancer, and it was a bunch of ladies and a couple of guys, like some of the husbands, but not all of them. So there was way less guys than girls, and I got a ribbon or a medal or something, whatever, for my age bracket because there wasn't very many guys in my age bracket. So I kind of got that, not really a participation award, but it was kind of like by default, which is about the same thing. But yeah, I got the fastest 5K in my age bracket and gender. I'm like, great. There's one guy in his 30s here, and it was me. So here we are. I got the medal.
I've done the color run.
You've done more.
I've did a lot of 5Ks, and I haven't done one in a while. I did the bubble run. I did all kinds of runs, and I think they're fun.
Only time I run is toward the gunfire.
I'm not a 5K guy. I'm more of a 100K bar guy.
I used to run 5Ks for a t-shirt. If you finish the top 100, free shirt usually be like 300 people.
Right.
Yep. We have a lot of shirts from the runs. But yeah, I get him into all kinds of runs.
Yeah. And the bad part about running with her is
I'm slower than
I'm
he
6 foot and she's
My little legs.
5 foot. So if I want to run like next to her, I have to do like 3/4 steps, which hurts. like crazy because you're short stepping yourself, and it's horrible. Like on the treadmill is great because I can put mine at 8 and she can put hers at 4.5, and we can just run side by side because my legs are way longer than hers.
Yeah.
But if I try and run like on the street and stay next to her, I'm having to like short step myself, and it's painful. It's painful because if I run my actual pace, I just run away from her. And trying to run next to her, it hurts.
I had a dream.
That little
Oh, look,
short step crap.
you and Dakota can run, and then Shayla and me will run together. There you go.
Well, she's
I don't
told
know.
Y'all will meet us at the end.
Yeah, we'll get to the end and wait on you.
Yes.
I wouldn't even run with her if she's still doing that B-Talk stuff. Did you see that video where she gotten B-Talk?
Yes. I'm like, stop. Don't do it. No. No.
You can't go get
Yes.
the other side and match this one, and it's like swelled up. She can't even open her mouth. It's so
She
big.
looked like she got stung by a bee. I was like, girl, no. Leave
That
your
was what
face
happened.
alone.
That's why it said B-Talks on it.
Nope.
Like, what are you trying to eat them things for? You're supposed to eat the honey, leave the bees.
She said, I wonder if I should do the other side. No. Oh, poor Shayla. But I think that'd be fun. I need to go find now I'm going to go find a 5K. Yep.
Amy's ran a 5K at Tulsa Raceway Park, the drag race up there in Tulsa. They held one there. She's running all through the infield and around the pits, and like they had a whole thing set up out there at the Tulsa Raceway Park.
I've never understood why somebody would run for no reason at all. It doesn't make sense. It's like don't make sense.
Well, it's not
Like
for
you
no
put a
reason.
bull
It's
chasing me, I
not
can
for
run.
no reason. I mean, the money that they
Well, I don't know about that.
raise.
I'm not talking about the fundraising part of it. When I was a guard, what happened if somebody tried to steal something and I had to chase them? I had to be able to run when that was part of my job.
They cannot outrun a freedom seed.
Yeah, but you can't use lethal force unless they use lethal force. And if they're running away, they're no longer a threat to you. So then it's shooting them in the back. It gets tricky. It gets real tricky.
Well, the Bible has a word for people who run when there's nobody chasing them.
Yeah.
See what it says?
You gonna bigify him or just make
The
everybody?
wicked run away when no one is chasing them.
And you know, Vikings had a word for men with no beard.
Except this
Women.
Women.
Indians.
You know where that? You know how that
Indians
got
have
started? They were the first civilization with bouncers. They stood at the door, and when a woman walked up, he goes, "Whoa, man, you ain't got no beard," and he sent her away. That's where they started calling them women. Whoa, man, you go get a beard.
Well, Indians have a name for a man who only eats vegetables. Poor hunter.
Yeah.
That's what they call them,
Poor
vegetarians.
Bad hunter.
Bad hunter. Yeah. I had a dream one night that I was running and that I had ran over 2 or 3 roads that they paved now, but when in my dream I was running and these roads were dirt, and I'm like, wow, this really has been a long time since I could run. And so I woke up, and then I figured out it wasn't a dream. It wasn't a dream at all. It was a nightmare.
Woke up in a cold sweat.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Oh man. Wow.
Yeah, you don't pass gas because if you hold it in, it will crawl up your spine, and that's where bad ideas come from.
Yeah. If I'm running away from something. Yep.
That's right, Lori.
Well, y'all, thank y'all for coming up. We
No,
almost.
You got a minute.
I do have a minute. That's why I'm saying my.
Just hold on and wait a minute.
Wait. Hold on. What?
Hold on.
Hold on. You got another minute?
Yeah, 50 seconds.
I have. Yeah, 50 seconds. Yeah.
Well, hold on. I got something really good to tell you in that 50 seconds.
Okay. Yes, I knew it. I love it. Hold on.
And now we're all
by myself. Y'all, I will be live tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, making a breakfast casserole. Yep. Amy.
It's 5K. I'm already planning.
Yes, I will. We need to do it because I have not done one in a long time. Well, that's because I couldn't run, but I'm doing it.
I'm gonna have to get my legs ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my legs ready.
I gotta get my mile and a half under 15 minutes because that's gonna be miserable.
Yeah, we'll have to train for the 5K. Look one up. I'm gonna look some up. Yep. Love you guys. I'll see some of y'all in the morning. Thank y'all for coming in. 2 months. It's in 2 months.
That's good.
Okay.
2 months is a long time.
Okay, which one is this? Because I need to look it up and get my tickets.
You don't need to tell everybody on the live.
Oh, listen. You got my number.
Exactly.
Bye, y'all. Love ya. See you next time.